It's a happy coincidence running into each other like this. I was waiting for Jennifer to come out of class. We'd arranged to meet here and go to lunch together.
That sounds nice.
Why don't you join us for lunch? We'd be delighted if you would.
Oh, thank you, but I'm afraid I can't.
No?
I'm meeting my husband for lunch today.
Well, we can make it a foursome. Now, Laura, I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm accustomed to getting what I want.
Mr. Smith, there's something that I have to say to you.
What's that, my dear?
Well, you know, I'm kind of glad that I ran into you today, because I've had something on my mind for a little while now, and I wasn't sure whether or not to go to you about it. You see, I did something kind of foolish recently.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. You know, after I got locked in the closet that night in Luke's office, well, I got kind of worried because I thought that I overheard something that made it sound as though things weren't really on the up and up with Luke at the disco. And I guess I got pretty upset. And, well, I thought of calling the FBI.
The FBI? Well.
You know, I called I did call their office here. But as soon as they answered, I hung up. I changed my mind. I guess I got to thinking about how silly I was being and that I just let my imagination run away with me. Mr. Smith, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm really very ashamed and embarrassed about behaving so silly. And I just hope that you can forgive me for thinking such thoughts. I mean, especially after you've been so generous about inviting Scotty and me to go with you to Las Vegas to open the new disco. Can you forgive me, Mr. Smith?
I can't tell you how refreshing your little confession is, Laura. There's one thing I appreciate in a person. It's loyalty and honesty.
Then you're not mad?
Mad? No, of course not. And I'm awfully glad that you didn't do anything foolish. Organizations such as the FBI and the Internal Revenue are always questioning people in my position. And I'm sure that your father-in-law's office will get a routine check now that Lee has taken me on as a client. I've come to expect it, you know. I'm used to it by now.
Do they check everything that you do?
Just about. I have very little privacy in my business dealings. Money is like a searchlight. It focuses attention on us whether we want it or not.
I guess that's true.
I imagine Lee and your husband will be asked to keep a check on anything that's out of line in my operations. I don't resent that for one moment. I think Lee and Scotty have a civic duty, you might say a patriotic duty, to cooperate with government agents. Well, of course, they're never going to find anything out of line because there isn't anything to find. I'm very scrupulous about the way I run my business. Always have been.
Yeah. Well, I really feel badly about it now.
Personally, I'm very grateful to you for your little confession, and I'm glad that you changed your mind at the last moment. A call to the FBI done in panic by a frightened young girl can touch off something more than a routine investigation. It can turn into a major thing that will be a great nuisance to all of us, and not to speak of waste of time and taxpayers' money. Thank you for reconsidering.
I guess you must think I'm a terrible fool.
No, not at all. Young people are always rushing off in all directions and righting imagined wrongs. It's called idealism, I suppose. We all grow out of it. At least, I hope we do.
Well, you're being very nice about this.
No, not at all. Don't give it another thought. Oh, look, here comes Jennifer now. Come to lunch, all three of us. And then you can call Scotty from the restaurant and ask him to join us. Will you do that?
Sure, I guess so.
Oh, good. Now, Laura, that's fine. And that will show that there's no hard feelings on either side. Jennifer!
Listen, I'm at the Floating Rib. I ran into Mr. Smith on my way to see you, and he invited us to have lunch with him and Jennifer. Can you come over here and join us?
Hold on a second, okay? Lee, it's Laura. She's at the Floating Rib with Mr. Smith and Jennifer, and she wants to know if I can come for lunch. Is that okay?
Well, of course. Well, I know I run a sweatshop, but I do allow lunch hours.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he said it was okay.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'll be waiting for you.
Okay, so long, huh?
Listen, Bobby, I'll find those papers for you. And, Scotty, why don't you run along? You don't want to keep Laura waiting.
Yeah, I should get going. Bobby, see you later.
Okay.
Hey, Scotty. Hey.
Yeah, what?
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Laura. Mr. Smith. Hello, Jennifer.
Nice to see you again, Scotty.
We were very happy when Laura told us you could join us.
Well, I appreciate you asking me like this. It's not very often that I get to see Laura this way.
I'd think that you'd have lunch every afternoon together.
Well, I've been spending a lot of time studying for my bar exams.
I understand you start on those tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And I have my fingers crossed.
Good luck.
Once they're behind you, then you'll have more time for your lovely wife, won't you?
Well, I will, but now that she's working at the disco, I won't be able to see her as much as I want to.
That's too bad.
Oh, well, we'll learn to live with it.
Speaking of the disco, Luke is going out to Vegas soon to check out the new club. I hope you're all looking forward to the opening.
Oh, yes, sir. We've never been to Vegas, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I hope so.
I'm not sure how much fun it'll be for Luke. He's probably going to be working most of the time.
Oh, I imagine he'll find a few spare moments to spend with you. But you're right, he is a hard worker, and I like that about him. Well, I'm very pleased with Luke in general. And I have big plans for him. And I think my daughter has a few plans of her own for the young man.